Let's go ahead and work 7.3 homework. It says complete 1 through 4, 9 through 18, and 23 through 30. When we look at the first one, it says find the product. When we're finding the product, remember this is like taking the number and multiplying it to itself, or I should say the expression. So you have x plus 8 times x plus 8. When I do this first, I'll take x times x, that's going to be x squared. I'll also take 8 times 8, which will give me positive 64. In the middle, I see that there's a plus sign, so I'm going to be adding. This is going to be 2 times, we have x, and we have 8. So we do this, we got 2 times x times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So this would be a positive 16x. So we have x squared plus 16x plus 64. Let's see how we did. X squared plus 16x plus 64, just as I had here. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to number 3. You have 2 and 4 to do on this one. If I have 2f, remember, once again, this is like, and I'm just going to put the work over here this time, 2f minus 1 times 2f minus 1. We do this, we see we have 2f times 2f, that's going to be 4f to the second power. Then we have negative 1 times negative 1. That's going to bring us a positive 1 at the end. Now because this is negative, this would be a negative sign. We'll have 2 here, multiplying it to 2f. We're also multiplying it to negative 1. Let's see, actually this would be 1. And that's because the negative sign is already in front over here. So let me erase that. And now we'll have my 4f to the second power. 2 times 2 times 1, well that's 2 times 2, negative 2 times 2 is 4, times 1 is still negative 4. And there's f's here, so it's negative 2f, and then we're adding 1. As you can see, we have 4f to the second power minus 4f plus 1. All right, remember you have 2 and 4 to do. Let's move on. It says here, write a polynomial that represents the square or the area of the square. So when I'm looking at this, I see that I have, this is x plus 4 over here, right? And this is x plus 4. So that means this is going to be, I'm just going to put the work over here somewhere, x plus 4 times x plus 4. Remember, it's representing the area, so it's going to be the length times the width, or base times height, however you want to do this. So when we're doing this squared, we realize this is going to give us x times x, which is x squared. This is going to give us 4 times 4, which is positive 16. And then there's a plus sign, so we'll add. And remember, this can be multiplying 2 to x and to the number 4. All right, this is going to give me x squared. 2 times 2 is 8, so plus 8x plus 16. As you can see, we have x squared plus 8x plus 16. All right, 10 is yours to do. I'm going to be doing number 11. Once again, we know this is a square because it says all these sides are the same. Also says all these vertexes, right? All these corners are 90-degree angles. So we're dealing with a square, which means we have 7n minus 5 here and here. All right, so I'm going to do the work down here. That means we're going to have 7n minus 5 squared. And for those that haven't grasped that, all we're doing is taking 7n minus 5 and multiplying it to itself. 7n times 7n, well, 7 times 7 is 49. So now we got 49n to the second power. We have negative 5 times negative 5. That's going to be a positive 25. Now we have that negative sign in front. We're multiplying that to 7n, and we're also multiplying that to 5. Well, the 49n, the second power comes down. I know 7 times 5 is 35, so this is going to be negative 35n. And then we know, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the 2 in here, didn't I? Yes, I can't forget that 2. So this is actually negative 70n, negative 70n. So I'm going to have to change that. And this would be plus 25. All right. There it is, 49n squared minus 70n plus 25. All right, let's go to the next set. We have 13 through 18 here. We're going to do these rather quickly to save on video time. We have t times c, that's t to the second power. We have negative 7 times plus 7, that's going to be a negative 49. And because these are opposite terms, I'm going to have a t times a positive 7, which is 7t, and negative 7 times t, which is negative. They're going to cancel each other out. So this is just going to be t to the second power minus 49. 14 is yours to do. On number 15, once again, we have a positive and negative. That means we're going to take 4 times 4, that's 16, and that's going to be x to the second power. Then we're going to have 1 times negative 1, that's a negative 1. We're going to end up getting 16x to the second power minus 1. Now remember, the reason that there's no middle is because 4x will get multiplied to negative 1, which will give you a negative 4x. Positive 1 will get multiplied to 4x, which will give you a positive 4x. And that positive 4x, and I'm just going to write this one over here so you can actually see it. We multiply this to this, we get a negative 4x. When we multiply this to this, we get a positive 4x. And because these are like terms and the same coefficient, right, the inverse of that coefficient, they cancel each other out, and that gives you 0 for the power of x. All right, let's go to number 17. We got 1/2 times 1/2. That's going to give us 1/4. I should put that there. That's where the answer is going to be revealed. Let me stick it on this side. Because I know 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1/4. That's going to give us a 1/4 in the front. And I got negative c and positive c. So that's going to give us a negative. Remember, this is like there's a 1 in front of each one of these, right? So when I get a negative c times a positive c, that's going to give me a negative c to the second power. Let's see how we did. There we go. 1/4, right? That's what we had up here, minus c to the second power. That's what we got here. Once again, because these are the same exact variables and constants, and these are opposite signs, they cancel out the c, because this will be 1/2 times c, which gives us a positive 1/2 c, and then negative c times 1/2, which will give us a negative 1/2 c. When I combine them, they'll cancel each other out. You have 14, 16, and 18. This says use a special product pattern to find the product. Well, I know that 16 is 4 less than 20, and I know that 24 is 4 more than 20. So I can say this is really 20 squared. And 20 times 20, well, that's going to give me 2 times 2, which is 4, with 2 zeros. We're looking at about 400 here. All right, now this is saying 16 times 24 is 20 minus 24, and that's what we get. And I did leave out the one part here, and I shouldn't have done that. Let me go back here and explain it. The difference is 4 each one of these. So we have to add 4, right, and then subtract 4. So when we do this, we know we're going to get a negative, right, 4 squared. So the 400 came down like we said, and now we have negative 4 squared. Remember, this negative sign does not belong with the 4. It would have to have parentheses around it. So the negative just comes because we have a negative times a positive here. And the 4 squared, well, 4 times 4 is 16. So we get 400 minus 16, and that's going to give us the 384. Sorry for not finishing the entire thing out before I gave my final answer, but it should be 384 when you take 400 minus 16. Let's try this one. You have number 14. This is 42 to the second power. When I take 42 to the second power, we're just simply taking 40, right? This is adding 2 to the second power. Notice this time we're not subtracting and adding, and that's because 42 is 2 bigger than 40. Remember, we're looking for that. We're looking for the 10th spot, right? We're not trying to use the single digit spot. So we're turning this to 40. We're adding 2 to it, putting it to the second power. So now we're really multiplying these to itself. 40 times 40 is 1,600. 2 times 2 is 4. And let's see, 40 times 2 is 80. And then 40 times 2 is 80 again. 80 plus 80, and you can see right here where it's 2 times 40 times 2. That's going to give us 80, and then times 2 is 160. So when you add all these together, you get 1,600 plus 160 plus 4. That's 1,764. All right, now let's go to 30.5. We know that it's at 30 and we're adding 0.5, right? So we got 30 plus 0.5. This is working the same way. 30 squared is going to give us 30 times 30, which is 900. We take 2 times 30 times 0.5, right? And that's going to give us, well, let's see. Multiplying something to 0.5 is like multiplying it to a half. So 30 times a half is 15, and 50 times 2 is 30. Okay, and now we have 0.5 times 0.5, that's 0.25. And so we're going to add these together. 900 plus 30 plus 0.25 is 930.25. You have 24, 26, and 28 to do. I've got last one. It says describe and correct the error in finding the product. Okay, so this says k plus 4 squared. They're saying this is equal to k squared, and that's true. K times k is k squared. Then it says this is equal to 4 squared. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. This is all true, except they left out something. When you have k plus 4, and you multiply it to k plus 4, everything they said is true as far as k times k is k squared, and 4 times 4 is positive 16. What they left out was they have to add 2 times, let's see, k, 10 times 4. This will give us k2 plus, well, 2 times 4 is 8, so this would be 8k plus 16. So what was a mistake? They did not multiply k times 4, right? Or 4 times k together. So they didn't do the outers and inners and then add them up. This says the middle term in the square of the binomial pattern was not introduced. We should have gotten k to the second power plus 8k plus 16, just like I said. All right, you have number 30 to do. I believe that was all the problems. So I will see you in class for grading. Have a great night.